everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be parting and twisting Lindsay's hair. This is the soft-spoken version of this video. I had previously uploaded this maybe 2 months ago now. It's been a little while, but I finally am getting around to doing the voiceover for it. And just going to be brushing through her hair to begin with. Her hair is always very soft and just very pretty. She takes very good care of her hair. This video is also from before she got her haircut, so it's a little shorter now, but not a crazy difference, a drastic difference. She needed to freshen things up, so in one of the last videos I posted with her, you can see the length of her hair now, and it's still just as beautiful and just as soft. Typically in my videos I start to talk about different things in life and what have happened recently, to be able to chat throughout the video. I personally do enjoy the ones where the person's describing everything they're doing, and I think that's easier to do in the moment. I've tried to do it for voiceovers before, but I never remember how long I did something for or what exactly I was going to do. So occasionally I will mention what I'm doing to my model and their hair, or just kind of drop a thought I had at that moment or so. But I thought today, as the subject of the video, I would talk about my visit with my grandma that I had last week. I went over there on Monday at about noon because I had to do my hair, and that's a whole thing, and I've talked about that before. So it took me a little longer than I expected, but I got there at about noon. And then we ran to the grocery store because that's what we typically do the first day I'm there, so that way we can figure out what we're going to be eating while I'm visiting and just pick up any treats, because you know, grandmas and their treats and the cookies and the cakes and the things. So when we were out, I picked some Shamrock sugar cookies from Walmart. They're just they're not the soft sugar cookies with the frosting on top of them. They're the shape ones that are usually thinner and have sprinkles to color them. I don't know exactly what they're called, but they remind me of, I don't know if this was everywhere because this was when I was a lot younger, but we used to have this thing called Market Day at the schools, and you could order different meals or snacks, and one of the things that I remember very vividly are these types of sugar cookies. They had them specifically, the ones I remember are the jack-o'-lantern ones that they'd have around fall, and they just were so good. There was something about them that was just magical. And I remember, I believe this is an actual memory and not a false memory, but what I remember is being at a friend's house, or maybe they were watching me for some reason, or it was somebody from my mom's group that we were in where like parents would bring their kids and the kids would hang out and the adults would talk about being parents and stuff. I don't know how common those are nowadays. It was like something organized. I don't know if it was by the church or what, but we had these friends that were through that. So I think it was them, but I was at this house and they kept them in the closet with the coats and stuff, so I think they were mostly for Halloween, because they came in this box and they were all individually wrapped, so I'm thinking they were going to give them out as the treat on Halloween, but I found them and I remember eating quite a few of them because they were one of my favorite things. And my family didn't get them all the time. I'm not sure if anyone else remembers those. My grandma said she did. So, that is not something I just made up. Although sometimes it feels like that because it feels like not everyone knows what I'm talking about. But they were these sugar cookies colored with their sprinkles of orange and maybe a little bit of green or brown for the stem. But they were so good. So, whenever I see these types of cookies, I know that Target has some around Halloween, and they're little pumpkins, webs, and ghosts. And they're all colored orange. So I usually get those. I didn't see them this past year, but then I saw these at Walmart and I was like, I will try them. Now the ones at Walmart are a little tougher than the ones that were at Target. The ones at Target are a lot more reminiscent of these Market Day ones I remember. But they were still good. And that was a long tangent on that. But we planned to make this angel chicken pasta bake, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it's called. I may have talked about this before because I made it one other time when I was at my grandma's, and I feel like I didn't know the name then, but it was the angel chicken pasta bake. It's really simple to put together, and so we planned to do that for Tuesday when we had my grandma's neighbor over and our family friend. And we ended up having a fancy dinner. My grandma went all out. She brought out the fancy plates. She brought out the fabric napkins. She brought out nice glasses. She gave us all fancy wine glasses. And I don't drink a ton of alcohol in general, but even really anymore. So my grandma was wanting to have this chocolate raspberry wine, and the other three had majority of the bottle, and I tried just a couple sips of it because they were all saying how good it was. So I was like, sure. Sure, I will give it a sip. And it was good. It was good. 10 out of 10 would have again. And I feel like sometimes people question my age, but I am 28, so I am definitely past the mark, okay? Past the mark for that. So that was a night. We made these beaded wreaths that are St. Patrick's Day themed. My grandma found these kits at Aldi, so she purchased at first 3 of them because it was just going to be me, her, and her neighbor. Her neighbor and I, correct English, whatever, but you know, and we were making them, and the family friend was across the street because she had to work at the neighbor's house. She's having her floors in her house and stuff just renovated, so she couldn't really work from home, so the neighbor allowed the family friend to do some of her work at her house. And they're all friends, okay? They're all friends. So I hope that makes sense. They're all friends, and so we were waiting for our family friend to finish working to come across the street, and my grandma was like, well, we should probably surprise her with a wreath because she probably doesn't have something to put on her door. So, do you both mind if I run out to Aldi and try to find another one? And we were like, sure, go ahead. Go try that. And so she went out, and we ended up all kind of pitching in to make this last one. There happened to be one of each kind left. So my grandma picked one like I had, which was a shamrock that said welcome across it. And it was basically this metal frame that we just slid wooden beads onto. So it was really easy to do. The gluing part was probably the most difficult for everyone because we didn't know how long it was going to take for it to stick, and sometimes it would stick right away and other times it wouldn't. But I think mine turned out really nice. I think it's really cute. It's got a little gold tassel on it, and I colored the welcome the light green they offered. It was like light green or dark green paint marker. So I did that, and I think it's very cute, and I may use it in the background of, like, if I do a teacher video or a counselor's video around St. Patrick's Day. Now, I'm not sure exactly. I don't have plans to do something specific for either of those, but that just, like, if I happen to, then I haven't. Otherwise, I'll just keep it for the future when I have somewhere to live and a front door, and, you know, I'm on my own, and then I'll have a decoration and a memory of being with my grandma and making the wreath and having this fancy little dinner party. And yeah, so that was really fun. And then the next day we went out to find my grandma a new bedspread because she got a new bed and it's taller than her other one was. She can't put her bed skirt on it, so she just decided to get a new bedspread so it hangs over long enough to kind of cover so you don't see underneath the bed. Not that she's hiding anything under the bed. in terms of like storing stuff down there. She's a very clean lady. I feel like there's probably nothing under there at all, actually, but she's particular about things, so she wanted to find a bedspread. And we went out and we kind of eyeballed them, but she didn't settle on one. And she's now aware of her options. I'm not sure if she's gone back out yet. But then we came back and she holds this group at her church, so she had that week. Well, I think she has it every week on Wednesdays or something. So we came back, I stayed at the house, she went to do that, and then she came back and I taught her how to use YouTube on the TV. I don't know if she's going to remember every step of it or my username, because we all know how long my username is. But for her to have to type it on the TV, I tried to search it up myself on just the app and no account. She doesn't have an account to use, so I typed it in the search, and it should start just recommending the stuff on the home page for her, so she doesn't even have to worry about typing any of it in. But she was very excited. She likes to watch my Southern hairdresser videos. She finds them very funny. And I tried to show her Dr. Brown, but Dr. Brown, I don't feel like Dr. Brown's her style, or maybe the one I picked is just not, was not, like, good for someone who doesn't know what's going on. You know, it wasn't a good first introduction to Dr. Brown. But she was excited about that, and I think it's very sweet of her to want to watch some of my videos when I'm not there. And yeah, it's just very, very nice, very sweet. And then Thursday, I think I went home around noon as well. I didn't get to stay like I wanted because I started to not feel very well, and I just wanted to head home. I had to reschedule my hair appointment, and I was kind of bummed about that because my hair really needs to be trimmed. It has a couple split ends now because I do so much heat on it. But I've been told by the hairstylists I've seen that I'm using a lot of heat protectant and my hair's actually not as bad as it could be. They say it actually looks pretty good, so it's interesting. I just find it very interesting. And so yeah, I moved that. Oh, I also went and dropped off my taxes, so that's fun adult things, doing taxes. And we went to somebody new, so they wanted to see what the people who did for me last year did, so I had to forward the paperwork from last year so they could just compare to make sure they didn't miss anything when it comes to filing my stuff, because I don't get W-2s from YouTube and TikTok. I get 1099s because it's like they treat you like a contractor. So she was just wanting to make sure that the amount she told me I owed was the right amount. And I'm grateful for that because I'm always so nervous about, I try to report all the information I can. I try to keep track of it. I've got spreadsheets to keep totals of stuff, and she told me I was very organized, which I appreciate. But she was just trying to make sure there wasn't anything she was missing or that I didn't include, and so yeah. So I've got all that ready now. She wants me to come back in soon to finalize it, and then I'll be all set with that, and then that'll be a nice relief as well. And I think that's pretty much it for everything I did while I was away. I feel really bad that I started to not feel good because the last couple times I visited my grandma, I've either gotten sick or one of the times it was allergies and it was making me like super weird, which I may have talked about that before, but my glands in my throat were so swollen one of the times I went, and my throat was so dry, and I didn't know what was going on because I've had issues with my glands swelling before, but it never progressed to like an allergy problem. It was more of just a stress thing. I think my stress triggers something with my glands in my neck. So that was a whole thing. She was just constantly dumping tea down my throat, so I was fine then, but I don't know. So I may ask her if I can go back in a couple weeks, because we really didn't get to do a ton after the fancy dinner night. And I want to be able to like play games and go places with her and do stuff, and just didn't work out that way this time. But I still had a good time. I did. I had a good time. The wreath making was really fun. And my grandma planned that activity. Normally I come over and I'm like, do you want to paint? Do you want to do this? And so this time she texted me and was like, do you want to make these wreaths? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, that looks really fun. Let's do that. So, yes. I really appreciate my grandma. She's one of my best friends, so good times, good times. And we are slowly creeping up on the end of the video here. I know I talk a lot during this, so there's that. That is what I normally do, unless I really don't know what to talk about. So if you found that this wasn't your style, that's okay. I do have no talking versions of the videos like I mentioned at the beginning, but if you do enjoy the talking over the videos, then if this was too much, it may not be for you. I'm just gonna be honest. If me talking like this was too much, it just might not be. Which is okay. We're all able to like what we like. But I do appreciate you taking the time to stop and check out this video. I would like to thank everyone for watching the video. I appreciate you all. Please remember that I do offer memberships on the channel, and I think in the last video I talked about how I was thinking about changing them up. That is still in the process, but otherwise, please remember to like or comment, and if you're feeling so inclined, the subscribe button is right there. I would love to have you here. And with all of that being said, I'm going to go now. I hope you have a great evening, and I will see you in my next video.